Hey, so you look good. Congrats on the deal. I know it doesn't really feel like you're in it yet because you're at home currently, right? That's
Mhm.
currently where you're at. But maybe how are you feeling?
Feel good. Still rehabbing my Achilles, so that is not the best, but we're hanging in there. We're hanging strong. I don't recommend tearing your Achilles. That it kind of sucks. But yeah, no, we're good. We're good. I'm good. We're hanging.
Yeah. Hey, out of curiosity, do you mind if you don't mind explaining a little bit? We've had a couple friends who've been on it and I've heard them talk about it. Did you get that sensation that people talked about where it felt like someone kicked you in the back, or what was that feeling?
Yeah, so I was doing like a lateral bound to a sprint, and on like the last rep, I like went to sprint, and it felt like there's just like this loud pop, and I thought that my like shoe busted, like I thought like the sole of my shoe had like popped off somehow, and that's what because that was what it felt like. It wasn't painful; it just felt like someone kind of gave you either like a nudge in the heel or like the shoe broke or something. And I looked down and I was like, "Oh, my shoe's busted." I'm like, "Oh no, that's not what happened." And just kind of laid there for a bit, but yeah, it wasn't super painful when it happened. It was painful after surgery. That's just after they have to pull it back together and sew it up and all that fun stuff. The first couple days were pretty rough, but yeah, when it happened, it wasn't so bad.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, that's I I was in pain hearing the report.
Mhm.
Um, I know how hard you've worked to get back, just in general, and I know it's all light with it, and I know it's a bummer, but I'm glad to see that you're on the mend. I'm glad it seemed like the surgery went well. And yeah, dude, I mean, I know we look for silver linings. Not what you maybe had expected, but to sign with KC, especially with the roots for you, you know, it could be worse. And honestly, it kind of seems like a blessing in that, like in the silver lining, right? It
Yeah,
wasn't it
absolutely.
wasn't on the bingo card. Let's tear this puppy. But um,
Yeah.
but I
God
did love
really
seeing
wanted
that.
me in KC. Yeah, he wanted me here so much he tore my Achilles. Yeah. No, it is. I get to, be with the family. I got a 9-month-old girl that, I get to, see grow up and help my wife out with the hard stuff a little bit, not as much with a torn Achilles as I would with a regular, foot, but yeah, it is definitely a blessing, and I am grateful for that part of it.
How so I'm assuming the arm, the elbow, the shoulder, everything feels pretty good otherwise.
Yeah, everything feels great. I've been throwing from a knee for a few weeks now, and so yeah, just playing some good catch. My PT that I'm working with also played baseball in college, so it makes it nice. You can play catch with your PT. Always a plus when it comes to throwing program rehabs. But yeah, it's everything else is feeling good.
Good, man. Oh, I'm happy. Well, by the way, since some of our channel members are joining, we have Birdland wishes you the best. We love you, John. I'm not saying I love you, but I do. Okay, just so you know.
Appreciate that.
And yes, Sam, John signed with the Kansas City Royals. That was the recent deal. Um, and it's kind of weird now that time's kind of evolved by. It wasn't just that you were here last year. Now it's kind of the years are changing. I had to explain to someone recently that I haven't played in 4 years, or five, this will be my fifth year not playing. It feels really strange.
Neither have I. It feels like. Yeah, no, I'm
I
kind of
didn't
with you.
mean it that way, John. Well,
No, I'm kind of with you there. I feel it, but no, it is. It's been a bit. It's been a bit, and it goes quick.
yeah.
It does not feel like it's been that long since I was in Baltimore and like going to the Iron Rooster daily and hanging out. But it goes quick, and my kid's about to be in kindergarten this year. It goes quick, man. You just gotta hold on to it as much as you can.
Yeah, it's the I'm probably on that boat following you, so eventually I'll have to get some advice. Jamie and I we tied the knot this past year, but we've been together forever. No little rips running around yet, but that might be the next on the bingo card and the agenda. We're getting older, we're adulting, but hey, here's a fun thing before some baseball stuff. Zach, you can join this because we were at the Super Bowl. Oh gosh, maybe get Zach off the camera for a second.
All right.
Yikes. So John, humor me here, okay? Because this was a highly talked about conversation. You're in your car, you're by yourself, okay? So we have a good visual of this so far, right?
I'm trying to think what you're talking about.
Well, just listen then, okay?
Okay.
You're in your car. Yeah. Shirt may or may not be wrinkled. That's depending on what shirt you chose, obviously.
Cross my arms, can't see it.
Yeah. Can't see it. You're by yourself, okay? So you can put on any song you want. And it could be a song that maybe you don't play around other people. Maybe you do. Like mine, I played Too Little Too Late by JoJo. Volume up all the way in the car, windows up or down. What's a song you might go to here?
Oh, I'm trying to think. So it's funny you mentioned this. My wife and I have been singing this song back and forth since the injury, and we've been singing "That's Life" by Frank Sinatra, and whenever we're like frustrated with something, we just start singing "That's Life," and so that's what I'm gonna pick. It's "That's Life" by Frank Sinatra.
I like that. That's unique. Bali, you got any of yours?
Well, I said mine was Unwritten. I feel like that's just feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, Ryan.
But I would sing that everywhere. It's a good song. It's a great song.
Fantastic song.
It's great.
We had Riverboat Ron wants to sing "Sweet Caroline" in the car. Sean Merriman, former Charger, and Bill was T Swift. A lot of K-pop. Yeah. Actually, from the Ravens. So it's just throwing some things out there, some ideas.
Interesting.
Hey, hey, John. Baseball question for you. With spring training and being a pitcher, you guys barely do anything, right? During spring training when you're there.
I'm sure that's the perspective of a position player.
Okay. Yeah. I know you do a lot, but maybe for those that don't know the kind of cadence of this, because a lot of people get excited about live BPs. A lot of people get excited about first spring training games. In your perspective of just explaining to people your process when you're full go, what does that look like for people that don't understand that?
Like the progression into that, like what those early days look like. I mean, it's the live BPs are, you usually already thrown a couple by the time you get to spring training, and so those ones that you're usually ramped up for some live BPs, you do a couple of those, then the games start, you do a few of those, but yeah, you just kind of slowly progress from that. Usually my first bullpen is usually like January 1st, and then you start to kind of ramp up from there. But yeah, those early days, a lot of PFPs, a lot of them. They got to find something for the pitchers to do besides play catch. But yeah, a lot of PFPs, and at least they don't have to shag anymore. I don't know if they're doing that anymore, but yeah, you used to have to shag a lot. That was pretty brutal.
And what in this case, besides having to shag or do PFPs, the level of intensity for spring trainings, because you've had it both ways, where you've had it trying to make a roster, like where your spring training actually matters, and other cases where you knew you were slotted in and you could approach it a little bit differently. Could you maybe elaborate a little bit on that? Because when I try to tell people, like when Corbin Burns came over here and Corbin Burns is getting lit up in those games, I go, hey, Corbin's going to be okay. It's his only time he can work on his things. I guarantee you he's going to start this season with this team. He's going to be okay. He's going to be fine. But for some, the spring training matters. And for you, correct me if I'm not, the year that you broke through, there was possibly an injury. You were fighting for one of the last spots in the roster, right? So can you explain that moment and then maybe the other side of what it means once you are established?
Yeah. So the spring training that I ended up, making the team, that was 19. You come in and basically every bullpen feels like you're pitching for your life, and you feel like you could get cut on any Monday that you throw, and so you're as that guy. You're basically. I went in. This is not the perspective that I recommend anybody go in, but I went in and I'm like, I'm going to blow my arm out, or I'm going to make the team. I'm going to see what happened. And I was trying to throw as hard as I possibly could every pitch, and ended up making the team and being fine that year. And so that is a different perspective than the 2020, 21, 22, where I was like, I think it was opening day, and so like I'm just kind of projecting out, okay, how many innings would I need to get to in spring training? How many innings do I want to be able to go opening day? And so you're kind of just projecting it out, and maybe you're trying to work on a couple things here and there. I've never been a spring training. I've never done well in spring training. Like, numbers have been horrible usually. And so I would like to say that, spring training doesn't matter because my numbers have been so bad. But I mean, at the end of the day, like you're getting your work in, and the real numbers that are going on the back of your baseball card happen, opening day and on. So, and so you're, as a guy that you're on the team, you don't worry about it as much, and so you might not have that same fire during those games at Ed Smith that you do, at Boston or wherever you're going opening day.
Yeah, I think it's just good for people. It's easy for me to say this. You went through that whole progression, and I know what you're going through. But a lot of people want to get caught up on spring trainings. And in your cases, you're right. And I think the reason why you said you wanted to throw your arm out, which I'm sure you were topping 98, 99. That's what you were known for.
Yeah. I was up to like 95, 96 in spring training, which I was not that during the year, but I'm telling you, dude, I was letting it eat. And I was like, let's see what happens.
The reason why I bring that up, though, is because on that situation, you also were at the point of your career, like for the context, you were trying to break through. You were up there. You're kind of in waiting, and there was a change of front offices then too. Mm-hmm. So it was your chance to have a good impression. And also, you thought maybe that could be your last full chance, to really kind of push this thing through. So it's not that you were just trying to go out and throw 95, 96. You know what? I might have to go check the tape on that one.
Yeah, check it. Yeah, go back to the spring training. Check it out.
Hey, while I'm looking up your highest velo during a regular season game, because now I'm curious, Zach, do you have a follow-up to spring training?
Yeah, John, you just kind of talked about, obviously the numbers aren't important and don't matter. But we see kind of around this time every year, as maybe some free agent pitchers haven't gotten to camp yet, some pitchers dealing with an injury that maybe they have to delay their start to spring a week or two, maybe a month. How important is it, though, to be in spring training with a team, for the entirety of it? So once you get to that, like you said, 162, where the numbers matter, being able to be ready and having those reps of, you can just kind of work on something in a game and go from there knowing it doesn't matter.
I think, that's a good point. I do think it does matter being around the guys, especially, and creating that chemistry, especially like for the example you gave with like a free agent guy waiting into spring training and signing late. I do think that matters a lot. And I wish there was a way to kind of combat that, because I think it definitely helps to have those guys in spring training the whole time. And also because it is tough to like get that same juice at an off-season training facility that you do, especially since most of the competition and most of those live BPs you're throwing to other pro guys, those guys are gone now. They've gone to spring training, and so you're trying to trying to ramp up at an off-season facility against like high school or college kids. That's not quite the same level. And so I do think that matters a lot. As far as like, say you need some extra time in spring training to kind of get ready, and maybe you're not totally ready by opening day. I don't think it matters a whole lot if you're with the team and you got a good plan. But the free agent thing, I do think it matters a lot of like getting with your team as quickly as possible.
It does make an impact. There's a routine getting in place that matters, and we talk about trying to quantify or match the game-like atmosphere. Spring training atmosphere, regardless, is not going to be the same as when you're playing up in Beantown or in the Bronx. Also, then imagine if it's not the same intensity in spring training and you are not there. That's where they can say, "Yeah, I'm throwing to hitters," but it's different. It's not the same. I also just think for routines. I mean, you've had times throughout the season, obviously, where you've had to come back from injuries. You've had to rehab. I remember you rehabbing in Memphis, go Tides, when we played the whatever the Cardinals was, the Redbirds, Memphis Redbirds, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
And your progression when it's during season, I don't know how it is for a pitcher. I know for position players, when you get injured or you're behind the 8 ball, you can build up confidence, but you feel like you're struggling once you get back. It's hard to get comfortable because you're I'm looking at right now, Jackson's going to miss opening day with the hamate bone. Gunnar last year had the oblique to start the year. And even though they came back, or Gunnar came back quickly, I was telling people it's not as simple for them to jump in and to be 100% comfortable. They can say they are, but it's hard. Did you feel that way on the pitching side of getting a little bit out of rhythm, or is it a little bit different because you guys are the ones in control of, throwing the baseball?
Yeah, I think it's different for everybody. And sometimes it does take a little bit, and it just really has to click once or twice. And then you kind of back into your groove. And cause I've talked about this with some guys too. Like, what right feels like when you've played at like that high of a level, like a Gunnar or Jackson, like, what it is, what it feels like when you're going and when you're going well. And, sometimes it takes a week, sometimes it takes a month, sometimes it's the first game, but I think it just depends case to case. And at the same time, at the end of the day, if they are struggling, right out of the gate or whoever it is, it's definitely normal. And I think, you got to give them a little grace there. But at the same time, once it clicks, that's when you see like the month of, oh, now he's got it. And he goes out and hits 10 home runs in a month or whoever it is. But it depends on case to case. And it is tough to get that adrenaline, and that it's just tough to be on the shelf in general. You go to the facility every day, and you got to do PT, and you're not getting that same juice flowing when you're not going out and watching the game every night. And so to get that same juice, sometimes it takes a little bit.
It does. And also, speaking of juice, I was trying to find your max in the big leagues on a fastball.
I think it's 96.5. That's my guess.
I can't even find that.
That's what. Then we're gonna go with 96.5.
Okay, so where would
actually, we'll
the
go with 98?
Where would 98 have been when you were? Yeah. Where would we have seen this in?
I think it was 2020. I think it was 2020, and I don't know who it was against. I feel like Miami or something, or maybe the Yankees. I don't know. It was 2020 was my hardest year. I also got shelled when I was throwing hard, so I'd stopped throwing. So I stopped trying to throw so hard.
Yeah, I can see. That makes total sense. You want to go opposite. I will say,
I was throwing every ball right down the middle when I was throwing hard. It was like literally belt high and just getting crushed. Don't look at my first game in 2020. My first game in 2020, I think I was throwing like my hardest. Yeah. And I gave up a grand slam in the first inning of the game. So tough way to start the year. First game of the year.
Really can only go up though.
It really can. Yeah. You're looking at that infinity ERA, and like, all right, it could get worse. Yeah.
Every out, it's just.
Yeah.
Hey, out of curiosity, John, I have a video here. This isn't of you, but I want you to see what you would classify this as maybe middle of what we were talking about. It was just a few days ago down in spring training. Our guy Wells, it looked like he was getting his teammate acclimated in Sarasota.
I love the head dip of, is that gonna go?
I think it hit the batter's eye.
I mean, I could tell by the sound of that. Oh, that's good.
Just to make
Poor
sure it
Wells.
went out.
Yeah, Wells in spring training. He doesn't do so hot in spring training either. He's going to be ready to go by spring or by season.
Yeah, he'll be good. You know,
He'll
I wanted just a little bit of a context here, you know, as we point that out. I'm hoping for him. I mean, all you guys, man, I just want to see you healthy. I feel it's been a hard thing. The pitching side has been one of the most challenging things. What has been, it's probably not one thing for you because you've been through it all, but what is something that people don't understand when it comes to like the pitching side with injuries? You know, we talk about, hey, you're spinning it, you're doing it. Besides you throwing 96 or 98 twice, you weren't known to be a flamethrower, right? And this has been, I know for you, that have been frustrations because you're kind of sitting there going, what has gone wrong? Like what changed? But it's happened with a lot of guys. I mean, Wells has dealt with that this past year again, and Bradish has dealt with it. Is there anything that people don't know about the intricacies of pitching injuries?
It feels like the unsolvable problem almost. It just feels like it's inevitable that, you know, people are going down and I think there's a race to try and figure out why. And I don't know if anybody has it completely figured out yet, but yeah, I think, you know, once the data all came out, I think there was this, you know, you're spinning it at this, your vert's this, your horizontal's this, and you're trying to chase certain pitches and trying to get those pitches as far away from each other as possible to make them as nasty as possible. And I think when you're able to constantly look back and say, okay, I can get a little bit more horizontal on that, I can get a little bit more on that, and you're constantly trying to manipulate pitches, I think that might have something to do with it. Obviously, I don't have the answers, or I probably wouldn't be sitting here with 3 injuries. But I think that once that happened, I think there's that kind of affected it a little bit because it all happened so quickly. Of the data era, the all of that happened, and so I think everybody started to try and chase that as much as they could without putting the brakes on, you know, the pitchers' bodies and injuries, and without that in mind. And I think we are going to get to a point that we do figure it out, because there's certain guys that do it. I mean, certain guys that just have flawless mechanics, throw 200 innings every year with really nasty stuff. And if there's anybody that does it, they're going to be researched over and over and over again until we figure out what it is that person does to accomplish that. So I'm looking forward in the next 10 to 20 years when we can figure it out, but I don't think it's happening tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't think it is either. A couple things as we wrap up. Zach, you have a final thought for John?
Yeah, I did find out, John. So on July 30th against the Yankees, you threw a pitch 96.5.
Boom.
So that's big because that 0.5 means that on the radar, on the screen, TV, they're rounding up. They're saying 97.
Uh-huh. Yeah, lefties are allowed to round up. That's what I say. Lefties are allowed to.
And John, real fast, obviously team getting older, dealing with injuries. Is the Chiefs dynasty over, or what's going on there?
Great question.
No chance. Everybody has a down year every once in a while. It was just I don't even think this year counts. I don't even think it counts. I know. Yeah, Ravens weren't great. I think the Chiefs weren't great. The Bills lost in the first round. I think it's a wash. I think it's kind of a wash. Don't even think about it anymore. Moving on.
It's a mulligan year.
It's a mulligan year. Yeah. No one had the Seahawks winning it all. I just think it's just kind of a wash of a year. It's almost like a 2020 year. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, no one wants
it. Doesn't even count. Yeah, we're not even thinking about it. But no, come on. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. Anything's possible.
And it looks like maybe Travis is back for one more tour, potentially, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for you. I also, a couple things that I might send to you. I will send, if you need any Iron Rooster stuff, one. If you need an iron, I'd be glad to send you one as well for your sweatshirt.
I will need that. Yeah, we're good. I thought it was an Iron Rooster and iron. I thought they were selling irons now. That'd be pretty punny.
Kyle is thinking about other ways to be creative. So selling irons at the Iron Rooster would be pretty electric.
That would be pretty electric.
What else? What else can we know about you or what's going on? And I mean, I know you're chilling, you're getting ready. I'm happy, dude, that you're going back home. I know it means a lot for you to play. Get right in KC. I thought you were half kidding when I said I hadn't played since 21. And when you said me too, it's not funny, but it is interesting. I didn't realize that's how much time has flown. But in all seriousness, one thing I've always appreciated with you is you've handled so much crap, and what I mean, that the injury is tough. It takes a toll. It takes a toll on you. It takes a toll on the family. And I think you've held your head through all of it extremely well. I wish it was better for you. I do. But I do think when you got the brand new Achilles and it's rocking, I really think this could be a great opportunity for you. Maybe, please, what do I need to do to help you stay healthy? You tell me and I'll do it, John.
Nothing. No, I got it. I'll be chilling, and I'll stop acting like I'm 25 again, trying to bound and sprint and all that fun stuff. But yeah, I'll be good. I'll be good this time around.
Yeah. Well, Zach, anything else for John?
No, I think we're good. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate it, fellas.
Hey, John.
Always a pleasure.
Hey, John, I appreciate you, man.
You're a good kid, Ryan. You're a good kid.
That's my line, John. I appreciate you're a good kid. Hey, best to you and the fam, and we'll talk soon, all right?
All right.
Thanks, man.
See ya.
See ya.